I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the daunting. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the Temple of God.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank.
She said I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the daunting. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the Temple of God.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank.
Good morning and welcome to Open Conversation on Atlantic Television Network. Open Conversation is a network's flagship political platform through which trending political news, events and stories are discussed with stakeholders. Through these conversations, ATN uses political talks about specific issues, party system and actor to explore hope and engender positive impact on the society. Today we look at the stories. First, Rivers State. Fobara named Anna Braba as new SSG. And the National Assembly, opposition split over plan to shift 2027 polls. PDP will rise again, Sheyi Makinde says. And on governance, Atiku slams Tinubu over reckless presidential pardon. Stop destroying people's property, Obi tells federal government and states over demolitions. And on insecurity, federal government failures reason for U.S. genocide debate, Hashim says. We are open for sponsorship of the program, advert placements, news, events coverage, and commercials. Watch us live on our website, www.atlanticnetwork.tv, on Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network. You can also watch us on Avo TV, Niger TV, and Ifastech TV platform. You can connect with us on our ATN socials by subscribing, like, and share. Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, and on Twitter, Atlantic TV Net. We'll go on a short break, and when we come back, we'll delve right into the show. Do not go away.
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the daunting. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the Temple of God.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank.
She said I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the daunting. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the Temple of God.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank.
She said I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the daunting. Who can come and salvage us from
people, Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the Temple of Justice.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank.
POS operator, she said 3,000 naira is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the taunting. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Representing people, Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the Temple of Justice.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank.
POS operator, she said 3,000 naira is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the taunting. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Representing people, Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the Temple of Justice.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank.
POS operator, she said 3,000 naira is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the taunting. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Representing people, Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Joining me on Open Conversation this morning is Chief Jackson Leko-Ojo. Chief Jackson Leko-Ojo is a security expert. He's a socio-political analyst and a regular on Open Conversation. Good morning, Chief Jackson.
It is my pleasure. Thank you for having me again
Thank
today.
you for coming.
It's my pleasure.
And then on to the story. Rivers State Governor Similaye Fubara has appointed Benibo Anabraba as the new secretary to the state government. Before his new role, Anabraba served as the Commissioner for Lands and Survey under Fubara's administration. Anabraba's appointment comes months after the declaration of a state of emergency in Rivers State by President Bola Tinubu, which led to the suspension of Governor Fubara and the State House of Assembly. During that period, Vice Admiral Ibok Ete Ebas was appointed as sole administrator to oversee the state. Following the completion of the emergency rule, President Tinubu ordered Fubara's reinstatement, allowing the governor to resume full duties. Anabraba's appointment is seen as part of efforts to strengthen the state's administrative structure and restore political stability. Chief Jackson, what do you make of this story?
I think it's a good development. Definitely, there's no way the state can run without that office, that is chief scribe of the state. And in the other pact or agreement, they said the governor had with the former governor, it rumored that somebody like Danagogo will no longer be allowed or welcomed into the cabinet. And if it was true then the governor want to kind of respect that purported agreement. That is the reason why he has done what he has done now, because Danagogo is an experienced administrator, which I don't think he has committed anything that would have warranted the governor to just lay him off. But with the emergence of this, those political players in Rivers State will know that the new guy, Anabraba, is a boy it's one of the cronies of the former SSG, Danagogo. So they are friendly, they are very close. So I believe the emergence of Anabraba must be as a result of possibly nomination by Danagogo, because most of the guys that have been jumping up and down, congratulating on radio, online and other things, that have been congratulating the new SSG, they are all Danagogo boys. So to me, I still believe it's a system whereby you say, Jackson Lake Ojo, for some reason you have to just stay away, but give me somebody you trust. So I believe that is exactly what has happened.
Okay. So for you, you think Danagogo stepped aside in order to consolidate the peace in Rivers State. However, Anabraba, who is now the SSG, is also a protege of Danagogo. So basically, Danagogo is still, through his protege, still very active in the system. Is that what you're saying?
No.
Okay. What exactly are you saying?
Let me just take the case of 2015, when President Bola Ahmed Tinubu wanted to contest against Buhari, but people prevailed on him that he should step down, and he wanted to be vice president. They came out with the issue of Muslim ticket for peace to reign in the country. You understand? And for the party to get more sympathy. You understand? They say, you, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, don't contest as president, don't contest as vice president, bring us somebody that will contest as vice president. He now brought one of his old commissioner for justice, and Attorney General of Lagos State, in the person of Professor Yemi Osibajo. He now said, okay, I will step down, but let this guy go. And that was it. Does that make Tinubu control Osibajo? No. Tinubu was not able to control Osibajo. Even if I put my son to go and work with you, you understand? Definitely, there is no way I can control him. Because I will only control him if he does not qualify or he does not know what he's supposed to do. There is difference between personal obligation and official obligations. Now, Anabraba, major obligation is
to the state.
To the state, not to his former principal. When they get home, he might consult with Danagogo. Sir, you have the experience. Look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this. What do you think I should do? That is it. So it won't be one way or the other detrimental to the state. It won't be detrimental to the government. So I think it's a good development. That is to say, he decided for peace to reign. If I must sacrifice myself for peace to reign, let it be. That is exactly what Danagogo has done. He has done well, but not to step aside and to say he will indirectly be stepping in. No, that I don't think he will have that notion. And I think he's an exposed person and he's a good character. He will not want to. I think his intervention will be, it is not bad for Danagogo to even say advise the governor. He is a better administrator. Yes, he has been minister, he has been this, he has been that. He might even still, you must not hold an appointment before you serve your state. He might call on the governor, look, governor, go, this policy is okay. This policy, it will bring about development, peace, and other things in Rivers State. It is not bad. He might visit the governor at home, he might visit the governor in the office and say, Governor, I'm suggesting this, let us look at it. He might do the same thing to the SSG too. But that does not mean that this is what you must do. No. That is it.
You're right, very well. It's 4 days shy of a month, that the Rivers State government, or Rivers State as a state, regained full democratic governance. And the governor is yet to, fully form his cabinet. Do not forget that on September 18, upon resumption, the Rivers State House of Assembly called on the governor to submit a list of commissioner nominees, so that they can begin, governance can begin in full. However, the governor had gone ahead to also lay off the commissioners who were affected by Supreme Court judgment.
Yes.
Now, moving forward, one would say to a large extent the state is doing the part of peace like one would expect. But how do you see this? But one would say to a large extent it's not moving, with the speed that we had expected it will move, considering that, River State has been to a large extent out of the pool for 6 months.
Let me just come out like this to say this. If you are building, if they give you a free plot of land, you just clear it and begin to build on it. Seamlessly, you can continue to build it till completion. There might be no problem. But if there is a building collapse, you need to clear the debris. For the period of time you are clearing the debris, there is no progress because you are not building. You are just clearing the debris. There are a lot of things that got damaged for that period of 6 months. And the governor cannot begin to build on the debris.
Okay.
The governor has to clear all the debris. And that is exactly what they are doing now. Ordinarily, he wouldn't have problem working along with all his commissioners. But because of the pronouncement of the Supreme Court that those people that were cleared by the three-man members of House of Assembly, that are illegal, null and void, are in obedience to the rule of law. He has to obey the court by laying those people off. And he will not just be in his bedroom and just look at Obiakpo, this is the person I want to be. He must still consult with people. In each of the local government, he must consult with people. He must consult with leaders. He must consult with party faithfuls and others, the stakeholders. So he must have been doing all those things. But I believe within 1 week or 2 weeks, definitely, because it would be so bad for him to go and pick some person that he will present their name to the House of Assembly. House of Assembly will reject those people. That is very, very sensitive. So, House of Assembly, each of these House of Assembly come from one local government or the other. They must be part of the nomination too. So that is it. So he must be very careful not to offend anybody this time around. So I don't believe in the next 1 week. He's not going to US to bring them. In the next 1 week, he should be able to submit the names to the House of Assembly, and expeditiously House of Assembly should look at it and they can be screened within 2 days.
All right.
That is it.
Very well. And then moving on, proposal by the National Assembly to move the 2027 presidential and governorship elections to November 2026 has divided opposition parties. The amendment, part of proposed changes to the 2022 Electoral Act, seeks to conclude all election litigations before the May 29, 2027 handover date. Lawmakers argue the move will enhance transparency and prevent swearing-in winners with pending court cases. The proposed amendment also includes early voting for security personnel, journalists, and election officials, as well as mandatory electronic transmission of results. INEC has backed the plan, describing it as a step towards strengthening Nigeria's democracy and improving electoral efficiency. However, the bill still needs to pass through further legislative processes. Opposition parties remain sharply divided over the proposal's motive. The PDP and NNPP accused lawmakers of attempting to extend President Bola Tinubu's tenure or gain unfair advantage, while the Labour Party supported the plan, saying it will save costs and reduce tension. Civil groups have urged broader consultations before final approval. What do you make of this development, Jackson Lekojo, the electoral reform that Nigerians have been calling for a very long time?
Well, to me, thank God for his faithfulness that this reform we are talking about is not going to start on the table of the the legislative and end up on the table of the legislative. They have to consult with every other stakeholders across the country. Two-thirds majority of the House of Assembly in Nigeria must adopt it before it's sent to Mr. President for assent. But to me, they don't need to dabble into this area because this is going to cause a serious constitutional crisis. And we have enough political crisis, security crisis, economic crisis in this country today. Anything that will bring about constitutional crisis should not be welcome at all. I think what they need to do now, I believe sometimes ago I heard from a legal luminary that in Ghana, presidential election tribunal, they treated a presidential election tribunal for only 14 days. You understand? Because over there, I think this thing will not go through High Court. It will jump from the Court of Appeal, you understand, to the Supreme Court. And they can expedite actions on it within 14 days. I think Femi Falana mentioned something like that some time ago. Yes. So I think it would be a bad idea if we have special election tribunals in Nigeria so that it won't affect the activities of the regular court. Because those judges from the High Court, Court of Appeal and Supreme Court, those judges too, in their own regular courts, they have some cases there that during the period of tribunal, if they don't want all those cases too to suffer, they have to keep some time for the tribunal, they have to keep some time for their own regular court. But if we have a regular court for electoral matters, I don't think it's very bad. So that is exactly what we do.
That's a court that will only come up during elections.
Honestly, that is it. And they don't need to. Everything must. If there was a time they made a law, everything must, all the cases in court must end up within 180 days. If they say everything in court must end up within 45 days, it is possible. There are times some things in the National Assembly go through the first reading, second reading, third reading. And this could take 2 months. There are times first reading, second reading, third reading may go within 2 days.
Now, the question I want to ask Jackson Lekojo is, between elections and swearing in, what's the timing between the presidential elections and the swearing in or handover on May 29?
I think the last election 2023 was held in the month of February, and the swearing in was May 29. So we are talking
what you're saying is that we roughly 2 months plus.
Exactly.
Roughly 2 months plus.
Yes.
So for you, your position is that pushing
I think 3 months.
Pushing is 6 months. You're giving it 6 months window, thereby bringing the elections forward. For you, it's not tenable. Are you saying they should maintain status quo, but form a special court, a special election tribunal? Their designation is to handle election matters, and there should be a time frame attached to all these matters. That's what you're saying? Yes,
to avoid all this unnecessary interference.
Post-election litigation.
Yes, affecting the regular. You understand? Because there are some people, the case they have in court not supposed to last for more than 2-3 months. But because most of these judges too will go for election tribunal. So the cases on their table in their own court will suffering. So it's bouncing on some citizens too. Some of these cases are corporate cases that needed this. Some of it had to do with a lot of finances that needed to be sorted out immediately. But by the time these people leave that one and dabble into electoral cases, so if there is a particular, just like we have industrial courts, yes, so we could have an electoral tribunal court. If that one, we just give them, it is a law. No case must, the first segment of it, no case must last in this court for more than 1 month. If you have to work Saturday, Sunday, after the judgment, you can go and...
You know, one of the reasons that National Assembly is giving for this move is to prevent or stop people being sworn in while having pending court cases.
That is exactly what I'm saying too.
You have, for example, cases where sitting governors have been removed by court judgments, right? You've had cases where legislators have been removed by court judgments. And usually when people are sworn in, it's tougher for them to be removed because now they have certain powers to make certain things happen.
Yes.
So now they are saying, you know, immediately after elections, whatever litigation that will come up must be exhausted before swearing in happens. You recall that President Bola Tinubu, after his election, even after he was sworn in as president, still had court case in Supreme Court.
It has been there for a very long time. My former governor, Governor Olagunsori Ilola, has spent 3 years and 4 months before Aregbesola defeated him at the Supreme Court.
So
and that is what is causing.
Last 3 years was taken out.
Yes, that is what is causing off-season election today in Osun State. That is what is causing off-season election today in Anambra State. Off-season election in Kogi State. Off-season election in Ekiti State, Edo State, and Ondo State. That is what is causing it. And tell me what one of the off-season elections that have been. We are saying the general elections are not always very credible, but these are bastardly incredible. Yes. So to me, it is not bad if they create a special court and just a bit latest 90 days. All matters, electoral matters must ended. So those people do not have any other case in any other.
The issue with the cases of, for example, the case of the presidential election was handled by the Supreme Court.
Yes, the case of presidential election will start.
So are you saying that both Supreme Courts, appeal courts, all cases that has to do with election should not be taken to these courts, but there should be a special tribunal for that?
Yeah, we can have special tribunal for that. And if are those 3 capacities too? Yes, you can take maybe 10 or 7 of the justices of the Supreme Court to be at the end of affair of that special tribunal court, Supreme Tribunal, special tribunal court for appeal, special tribunal court, High Court. It is not bad, but this one.
But the thing is that all the cases must be tied within 3 months.
You can go online. I think Mr. Femi Falana quoted that in Ghana, that a presidential matter was treated in the court for only 14 days. I quote him, and I think Google can always tell us.
All right, very well.
Yes, sir. So, to me, let that be this idea of bringing down the election, this thing, no. So, at the end of the day, some party will say, oh, we are not fully prepared
for the election.
For the elections. is for in order to favor the ruling party. And by the time you say, okay, let the election take its own time, then you want to extend, there won't be vacuum. That means it's like an extension of tenure for the governor or for the president. So to go on a neutral ground, let there be, when the election comes, or if they don't want to form that special court, tribunal courts, when the election comes, they can transfer from High Court 1, all the cases, they share it among other high courts. From Court of Appeal, Akure, all the cases, they might share it to Court of Appeal, Ibadan, Court of Appeal, Lagos, so that all the people that are going to handle the electoral matters, they should make sure their full concentration is on electoral matters for that period.
All right. Now, part of the the reforms are also with regards to certain persons voting, early voting for journalists, security personnel, and all that. I think you've also observed one of the elections with me. Whenever elections are ongoing, I don't vote because I have to be,
yes,
on the studio.
All your colleagues across the country.
Everybody is on the field,
yes,
getting information. Anchors and TV hosts, they are busy covering that election. And to a large extent, when you look at it critically, it appears that people of the journalists, security personnel who are overseeing these elections, observing the elections as well, are not even allowed to vote. Not because we don't want to vote, but the nature of our job will not give us that time to also exercise our franchise. So what do you make of the position of early voting by the National Assembly?
I don't believe in early voting, because if the journalists, the anchor, the program, the correspondence, we have early voting, who is going to cover and we need media to cover them too. Who is going to cover that?
Early voting mustn't happen in a day. I hope you know that.
But instead of that, I was thinking that since we have, what do they call it, NNL, what do they call it, National Identification something. I think in some part of the Western world, people do not leave their bedroom to go out to go and vote. You can carry your phone.
Virtual votes.
You can carry your phone. You can vote through your phone. And that one, nobody can rig that one. Because as we are sending it, it's going straight to the portal.
It's transmitting live.
Exactly. So I think electronically we can advance.
Instead of early voting.
Instead of early voting.
You'd rather electronic voting.
Yeah, because early voting too, there won't be concentration. A lot of people will not be able to monitor it. Rigging can from the 200 journalists to return to 20,000 journalists. Well, we did early voting.
What would say, have we even tried
then we the guest analysts, we joined the early voting too.
Oh, yes, you can.
Then after the early voting, when the normal votes still come, I still go there to vote.
Well, one would say because you cannot, with beavers, can you vote twice?
There's no impossibility in Nigeria.
But have you seen people vote twice?
And I have not seen, but I know where beavers clear 2,000 voters, and 4,000 vote comes out. That's 2,000 people were accredited, but 10,000 vote.
4,000. You said 4,000 earlier.
10 even. There are some 10. We have only 600 people were accredited. 4,000. We have 4,000 people were accredited. 10,000. So there is no impossibility when it comes to negativity in this part of the world.
So you are not standing for early votes?
I am not standing for early voting.
Rather, you're saying,
because I am sitting down with the little knowledge I have of security. A lot of things. It is an opportunity for some persons. Some journalists will be inside one bedroom and do 15,000 votes.
Some journalists. Some journalists. Now you're accusing journalists of.
I'm not accusing. I say some.
Electoral malpractice.
I say some. No, the early voting now. We have not even started doing it.
The fact that it's even.
But I have telescopically, I'm seeing it to happen.
Have you considered the fact that it is early voting will mean that it will have a lot of coverage? Nigerians will, monitor it across board because I mean, few numbers of.
So if I'm in my business place, I come and monitor where journalists are voting.
Hold on, sir. Few numbers of persons are voting in comparison to, the number of the population of the country. Now, and also it's also a way to test run whatever it is they said they have prepared that is on ground. So if, let's say, the BVAS is not working, first-hand experience, I will come out and say the BVAS is not working. And this is what it is. Probably, as journalists, we can come out and say, Nigeria, INEC is not ready for this election, or INEC is ready for this election as well. I mean, there are two, when you look at it from different perspectives. Your concern is that it might be rigged.
See.
One, your concern is that who will conduct it, how will it be conducted, and all of that. That is the headache of INEC. Don't you agree?
That is
the responsibility of INEC to conduct elections.
Now, which is the responsibility of INEC to conduct elections, but how many elections has INEC conducted in this part of the world that is credible, that is transparent, that is open? See, what we are talking, your analysis now is just like when they say, I've seen where secondary students wrote mock exam, and 90% of them failed. But when they wrote WAEC, 100% of them passed. Is it not the same INEC that went to Chatham House in London to say this is the way we are going to conduct the election, INEC is going to do this? At the end of the day, election remained 3 days. What happened? They said they have changed that policy. Before you know what is happening, glitches. And up to today, they have not educated us. Glitches happened during jam recently. What happened? The area they recorded glitches, they did rewrite. Then glitches happened during our vote. There was no rerun.
All right.
It's trust deficit. Nobody is trusting
INEC.
Nobody is trusting INEC. Today, nobody is trusting INEC. I'll be so surprised the day I've been praying. I will be praying for an INEC chairman to disappoint my feelings. That is when they will do something good. Then they will be disappointing me. But if they continue to fail, to get it worse, I think that is what Nigerians are expecting from them.
All right. Very well. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has criticized President Bola Tinubu's recent presidential pardon, describing it as reckless and damaging to Nigeria's justice system. He said the prerogative of mercy should promote compassion and fairness, not trivialize serious crimes. Tinubu recently granted clemency to 175 individuals, including the late Maman Vasta, Mariam Sanda, Ken Sarowiwa, and others convicted of offenses such as homicide, fraud, and illegal mining. Atiku argued that extending clemency to those convicted of grave crimes undermines justice, weakens law enforcement, and emboldens criminality. He stressed that the decision sends a wrong message to Nigerians and the international community about the government's moral standing, especially at a time when the country faces worsening insecurity and drug-related crimes. He further described the move as insensitive, noting that nearly 30% of those pardoned were drug offenders. Atiku maintained that presidential pardon should symbolize reform and restitution, not complicity in wrongdoing, warning that Tinubu's actions erodes public trust and the moral authority of leadership. Jackson Lekojo, what do you make of this story?
It's unfortunate that in this part of the world, if you are in power, whosoever that try to correct you, you take it for criticism. There is no government, there is no human being that can succeed in life if there is nobody to correct you at all. It's only in this country that if a drunkard is driving a car and somebody say, hey, the way you are driving it is very rough, the next thing is to say, waka shege. They say that man is insulting me. What Atiku said now, I'm not speaking for Atiku. What Atiku said now, I think if you check across the world, not only Nigerians alone, there are things that we must be very careful of. Canada, a high court in Canada pronounced APC PDP as a terrorist group. When they say this group is a terrorist group, who are the terrorists? The members are the terrorists. Good. Recently, they talk about genocide. A senator
in
US talk about genocide in Nigeria, that the killing in Nigeria is aimed at Christians in order to depopulate the Christianity and populate the Islamic. Whereas we know that nothing like that is happening here. Now, Mr. President has the prerogative, the power of prerogative of mercy. He can grant amnesty. He can grant pardon. But there are some persons that, if not because it become a popular this thing now, practice across the globe, that there should be no capital punishment again. There are some persons that are supposed to face capital punishment by hanging, by guillotine to cut their neck, or by electrocution. But because it's no longer in vogue anywhere in the world, there are some of these people that are granted amnesty or pardon that actually desire they deserve it. But when they say they granted a pardon to Abat Macaulay, I don't think the president was born when Abat Macaulay committed such an offense. And I don't think that offense or whatever, I don't think that offense has been victimizing any part of his offspring. I don't think people like Vatsa was convicted to death by the military. You understand? And if it was true or not that he planned coup, if he planned coup, it is in the military law that planning coup to oust a sitting government is firing squad. But nobody knew if it was. But this time, I don't think, since that time, this granting him pardon now, I don't think it has stopped the children from getting work, or from doing any business, or from going to any school, or from traveling to any part of the world. So I don't know the benefit of pardoning, because it was a national cry that time that because of the relationship between Vasha and the military president that time, that they were the best of friends. A lot of sympathy, emotional sympathy for Vasha. So to me, that one is still okay anyway. But when people are mentioning kidnapper,
there was a kidnapper and a known kidnapper that also was a beneficiary of the presidential pardon.
Do you know, Mr. President has just introduced new policy now by that, which is going to boomerang on Nigeria very soon. It's an encouragement. It's an encouragement. If any of when they were still very small, if any of them commit any crime, maybe they go to my room to spoil something in my room, I will not beat him until the other one is there. When the other one is there, I will now call children of my neighbor, say, come, all of you sit down. I buy biscuit for them. I will just pick that one. I will begin to flog him. Daddy, what did he do? Daddy, what did he do? I say, see what he did. Oh, So if me too, I do this to my daddy, he will flog me too. I say yes. I say your daddy may even break your head. That is a deterrence. That does not mean that I hate my son. But in a situation whereby Buhari started this, when 2 former governors were jailed for corruption, and you granted them pardon, and you said you are fighting corruption, and the people that are supposed to serve as deterrent to others, to other governors, not to steal too much, because there's no way they will not steal at all, not to steal to the detriment of the people, you granted them amnesty. You can't hear it. Some of our men that are in prison overseas now, they will not be in prison in Nigeria. You understand? That is it. There is a senator too that was in prison too for corruption. He fight it through the Supreme Court, and Supreme Court said they should go and back to the trial court. Over 5 years now. There is nothing like trial court. So what Tinubu is doing now is a very negative precedent. Somebody will come tomorrow, the most notorious kidnapper in Lagos, Evans. Somebody will come tomorrow and grant him amnesty.
He has been applying for presidential pardon.
And so I don't think, maybe they forgot to give it to Mr. President. But one thing, I may not want to outrightly blame Mr. President now. Mr. President may not know all this. Some people must, it's not that Mr. President will just sit down on the table and say, okay, I remember social person. I remember social person. Some person would have submitted those names to Mr. President. And possibly Mr. President will tell the security people to provide the names. And to see if those people really deserve
one would say to a large extent.
Yes.
I'm sure their crimes, whatever they were convicted of, will be clearly listed in those things. As the president, whether you, there are certain documents that comes before you, regardless of the profiling by your security, you are expected, hold on sir, you still have the floor, you're expected to go through it. It's your signature, like you said, sets the precedence and might change the dynamics of things.
Yes.
Now, if the people who were being pardoned were people who probably were wrongfully convicted, right? They are wrongfully convicted and they have been appealing that conviction, that would be a different ballgame altogether. But however, there were certain persons who were convicted and, you know, overwhelming evidences of their crimes, you know, have been made public. And these people, now, another thing, I was thinking about this as I was going through the story. I am now wondering about the safety for some of the dangerous persons that were released. Some of the people that came out to testify against them in courts. Now, I'm beginning to wonder at the safety of these people and how they will feel, and how that will also encourage people moving forward when there is a certain kind of crime for people to come forward to testify or stand as witness. Because, I mean, after standing witness and this kind of thing happens, now I am thinking about the safety of the people who testified against these people and aided in their conviction.
For the first time, I will be exonerating Mr. President from this.
Go ahead.
Why am I saying this? Something happened a week or so ago, and I listened to one senator from the northern Nigeria, and I saw it with him. And before that time, I was on a particular TV station online through Zoom, and I expressed. So when the senator was on air saying it, my family were saying, Daddy, did he hear you? Why? The senator said, they are not to be blamed that if anybody come to the National Assembly to present fake certificate, he said because their own is to
ratify.
Their own is not to screen. Their own is not to begin to carry devices to know if this is this. That is the work of the security agencies, and that should be done before their document will even be released to Mr. President. And if Mr. President knows that the security agencies must have profiled these characters well, and he trusts that they should have be able to do their job. Are you telling me, Mr. President, we have to say, hey, this document, call the VC of the university, call the NYSC, call the principal of this secondary school, call the headmaster of this primary school? Is that the work of Mr. President? So in this case, Mr. President would have called, I think there is a committee for this. Mr. President would have called them. I'd like to grant some persons pardon. Go and get me the list, just like you have, intelligently submit now that maybe there are some people that were wrongly convicted. Maybe some people that are supposed to go for 5 years imprisonment, they have even been in the prison for 15 years before they even caught their case and rule. So those people, ordinarily, their conviction is not supposed to be more than 4 years, but they have even spent 15 years behind bar. So those are the characters that Mr. President may want to visit. And it is not his own work. There are some people that must present those things, and by the time they are doing it, they must do it with the DSS, with the police, with the Nigeria correctional officers. Then they go through the court too to check how were they convicted. So you have to prosecute them before the conviction. So the people that the authority that prosecute them, the authority that convict them, the people that did underground, all this underground profiling will have been done. Then they will present it to Mr. President. You see, when they present the name to Mr. President will now say, hey, we caught. Hey, George, what did he do? Police, who is the Inspector General of Police that time, what did he do? No. You must do, the security people must do the due diligence before presenting this document before Mr. President. Then Mr. President will approve for pardon. But in a situation whereby these people did not do their work well, Mr. President will fail. So in this case, it's not the fault of Mr. President. So some people are there, they did not do their work well. Some people did their work for favoritism. They want to favor so person.
All right.
That is it.
Now,
Mr. President is not that less busy to begin to call out the court, police. When was he convicted? No.
The point is not for the president to make these calls.
Yes.
Now, what I am saying is, I mean, it's very fundamental and rudimentary, Before you append your signature on anything, one would expect that you go through whatever it is you're appending your signature on.
Yes.
Or are you telling me it was just a list of names that were given to Mr. President? There was no document like, detailing the crime that so and so person committed. A list of names were given to the president, and the president signed under that list of names.
I disagree. I disagree with you.
Go ahead.
For the first time.
Go ahead.
Now, a minister of the Federal Republic forged certificate. Before that name is submitted to Mr. President, some people need to do their works. The security agencies must profile. So if they profile and they submit the document to Mr. President, Mr. President knows that it is not his own work to go and profile. And he should trust the people around him.
So you're saying there was no need for the president to read the document that was given to him?
Mr. President will read the document before him.
So we are saying the same thing.
I will sure that the document presented to Mr. President is the real document is the real information.
So now, didn't the president, you mentioned, you critiqued presidential pardon to persons like Herbert Macaulay, Maman Vasta, and all of that. Now, the president also didn't see those names.
The president see the name. If you, my criticism now of that of Albert Macaulay, I said, what does Albert Macaulay need that pardon for? After all, if Albert Macaulay had done something too bad, his name wouldn't, his picture and name wouldn't even appear on our currency. So what is bigger than somebody's name be on the currency of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? So why are you? So does that mean the people that put his name, his picture on the currency of the Federal Republic of Nigeria did something wrong?
No.
So if somebody can be so honored,
saying the same thing.
If somebody can be so honored, Mr. President do not need. But kidnapper,
drug barons.
Drug barons. I am saying that Mr. President will just work with the information presented on this table by the security people. It is not the duty of Mr. President to profile.
We have said the same thing.
We are not actually saying the same thing. You are saying.
What I am saying is simple. Are you saying that the president cannot read?
Mr. President will read what they put on his table.
And after reading it, he appended the signature, correct? Yes. Now, and he saw names like Herbert Macaulay, who died before my grandfather was, my parents and my grandfather was born, correct? And you're saying that pardoning Herbert Macaulay does not translate to anything.
It does not translate because Herbert Macaulay has been so honored.
If Herbert Macaulay is being pardoned, then probably we should question who put Herbert Macaulay on Nigerian currency, which means a criminal, in quote, has been on Nigerian currency that warranted a presidential pardon. Isn't that? Now, that alone should have, spurred the president to look critically and more closely at the names presented to him to sign. That's the point. Now, you are saying it is not the job of the president to profile.
Yes.
I agree 100%.
Yes.
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
But now, I am trying to understand why he will append his signature, because you're saying the fault is coming from the people who profiled these people and presented the names to Mr. President. Now, the question again is, the document is before him, he just blindly signs it because his people or his cabinet or his committee, whoever they are, presented a list to him. Won't he go through the list? You said you're sure the president read it. So if the president read it, then you cannot say, I'm not saying the president is wrong. No. I'm not saying the president is wrong. But if I'm going by what you have said, then how are you exonerating the president on one hand, and on the other hand, you are still holding him culpable?
Good. There is high-profile personality. I blame Mr. President. Why did he give this thing to Herbert Macaulay that have been so honored that his picture and name appeared on our national currency? What honor that is more than that? I blame Mr. President for that. But for the criminals, a convicted criminal, kidnapper, drug addict, you understand? Those are not high profile. And I'm saying, if Mr. President knew Herbert Macaulay or heard about Herbert Macaulay or whatever, that one is quite different. I am blaming him. I am not saying why Herbert Macaulay has been so honored, better than many other Nigerians that even perform better than him. He has been so honored. So what I am telling you, that granting amnesty or pardon to Herbert Macaulay is meaningless. Okay. Because Herbert Macaulay has been so honored. There are a lot of people during his time that said this country, their name has been forgotten. But his name is on the national currency. He needs no pardon. Because if you are not pardoning him now, you are indicting him. And you are indicting those people that have put his name on our national currency. That is there. But these other ones, Mr. President, we just read what the document they present on his table. The chairman of this company, I don't know if the chairman of this company knows everybody in this company. I doubt if he knows.
He does.
Everybody.
He does.
Good. Good.
He does.
He does. Good. He does. But I don't think the state governor knows everybody in the state. I don't know if a councillor knows everybody within his ward.
Not possible.
It's not possible. Then how do you expect Mr. President? Mr. President, there are so many layers of reportage. There are people that will report and send it to another will take it up. The secretary, all this document would have passed through the office of the secretary to the government of the federation, through the office of the chief of staff to the president, through the office of the attorney general of the federation, before they submit it. And what else do you want, Mr. Do you expect Mr. President to say, come, oh, who is so person? Which court? I want to see the lawyer. I want to see the judge. It's not possible. It's not possible. Mr. President will work on the report presented to him on his table. Yes.
All right.
I am not one of the fans of Mr. President because of their ship in this country. But in this one, some people are with him. They are not supposed to be with a president.
So your issue now is some of these seeming mistakes that you think that the president has made. You feel it is not the fault of Mr. President, but the fault of his cabinet. The people
that presented it.
All right, very well.
The way you are with your position here, there are things you can present to the chairman of this company. He just believe that, oh, since it's a Laurentia that is bringing it, Laurentia is very perfect in a way. He may not need to use all the word in this one. Say, come and tell me this. Come and tell me this envelope. Come and tell me pen. Come and tell me where you buy water. You understand? Right. And if he sign it because he believe that you could do your work diligently. So if he sign it and you later make him to regret, he won't have that trust in you again.
All right, very well. Thank you so much.
So I support Mr. President this time.
All right.
And I think he had to give me something now.
All right. Thank you so much, Chief Jackson Lekojo, for coming. It's a pleasure having you.
I'm glad when I'm sitting with somebody that can reawaken my brain.
Thank you.
Yeah, there are places you could go. You go with a dull brain, you come out with a dollar brain. But somebody coming to you, you will sharpen the brain.
Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure.
Chief Jackson, it's a pleasure having you. And thank you so much, our viewers, for always staying connected to us. And this is where we wrap it up on this episode of Open Conversation. We are open for sponsorship of the program, advert placements, news, events coverage, and commercials. Watch us live on our websites, www.atlanticnetwork.tv, on Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network. You can also watch us on Avo TV, Niger TV, and Efastech TV platform. You can connect with us on our ATN socials by subscribing, like, and share. Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, and on Twitter, Atlantic TV Net. Do not forget, peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Thank you for watching. I am Laurentia Ugu. Transition News comes up next. Do not go away.
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act, I call for